Hello everyone, Noto Addiction speaking here, and in today's video we're going to speak about how quitting drinking alcohol may be the hardest thing you'll ever have to do. It may be the hardest thing you'll ever do. If you're new here or you already been here, go ahead and click that like button, go ahead and comment, go ahead and subscribe. Click that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I drop a video. And without further ado, let's go and get into this topic. And I'm going to tell you right now, quitting drinking alcohol was definitely one of, if not one of the most hardest things I ever had to do, honestly and seriously, because of the effect that I let it have on my life. I ended up intertwining it and integrating it into every facet of my life, so that like having that substance gone and having to be under the influence of that substance at all times just about was it was ridiculous. It was definitely ridiculous trying to actually just have that absence while I was trying to stop drinking, having that feeling absent, because I did it with everything. Every time I drunk. Every time I watched TV, I drank some alcohol. Every time I sat outside on the porch, I drank some alcohol on my phone. Everything I was doing. And if you're one of those people that just have a problem with drinking and you're just always drinking, even to the point if you're not even drinking when you're stressed, you're just drinking just because you just want to be drunk. And that was me. I was always just drinking because I just like being drunk and just like being turned up and whatever. But when you get to the point in your life where you're like, I want to stop drinking, I want to quit drinking, it may just be one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do, because you're constantly reminded of wanting to drink. Either one way, or you get invited to a party. It's like, see, like when you were drinking, you was finding every opportunity to take a drink. You see what I'm saying? Every little thing. You always find every little small reason to drink. Oh, I got a little celebration. Oh man, I did this today. Oh, I did this today. You turn everything into a celebration so you can take a drink. So every weekend is going to be a struggle, because those are the times where you usually end up going out. You're at the end of the week. Oh man, I just want to take a load off, and I'll probably go out to the party with my friends and drink too. And that's probably something that's going to end up changing for you once you quit drinking. Trust and believe, you'll end up finding yourself not really going out as much and end up being a lot bored once you quit drinking. So that's going to be one of the hardest things right there, when the boredom, because when you go out to the party, you usually get tipsy, you usually start drinking, it makes the party like 10 times better. But when you show up to the party sober and you have not, in that presence of that substance isn't there in your system, making it and altering your experience, that is extremely hard. Finding that regular fun again, like you had as a kid, that natural high that you had as a kid, that's going to be hard. That is not easy. That's going to be one of the hardest things right there. That took me about a year and a half, solid year and a half, for me to be able to find overwhelming joy. And it just came to me out of nowhere. I was just sleeping. I was just like laying down, about to go to bed one night, and this overwhelming happiness just hit me. And I remember from that night on, after that year and a half mark, it was like that night when I was about to go to bed, at that half mark, and I just thought about something that I was probably going to do. It was going to be something simple, probably just like walking the bridge, just to clear my head or something. But I got extremely excited like a kid. When you was a kid and you had a field trip for school for the next morning. That excitement that was hitting you, and you could barely go to sleep for that night because what's coming the next day. It was something like that, and I finally got that back. But the thing is, that's the reason why it's going to be so hard when you quit drinking, because your high, your natural high was gone the moment you started drinking that liquor, the moment you started drinking that juice, the sauce, whatever you want to call it. You replaced that fun and you put it into the hands of the substance. So the substance became your fun. That's why people, when they go out, they be like, oh, I got a pregame, I got to drink, I got to have this, I got to do that. Oh, it make the night much better, or this and that, because it's like the natural high is gone. And now since you've put it into the hands of a substance, now you have to take it back. And that is hard. So it's going to be your body fighting you and your mind fighting you. Yes, it's going to be your mind fighting you. But I'm not just going to put it into you like, oh man, it's going to be the hard. Oh God, I don't want to try. Because I don't want to deter you. But I do want to let you know what's coming. But it's worth it. I'm gonna tell you guys now, it's worth it, man. It's so much worth it. You just gotta stick it out. And I know that it's so hard to just stick it out, especially when you got friends around you that's drinking And especially in the really earlier stages, like your first 2 weeks or something like that, is crucial right there. That is almost like I ain't gonna lie, it is like torture, but you gotta fight through and have your why strong. Your why strong of why you're quitting. And sometimes, and for some people, that why might come in the form of a traumatic experience. And I hate to say it, but a lot of people are gonna have to bump their heads and end up probably making a near-death experience or a bad experience, extremely bad experience, where they're like, I really got to stop this. And I hate to say it like that, but that's somewhat what happened for me. Like, I wasn't the type to just listen to, but like, oh man, maybe I need to stop this and just put it down, and nothing happened. And no, something drastic had to happen for me to stop. And I've told that story in one of my other previous videos when I was talking about stopping, quitting drinking alcohol. You can go and check those out. Most definitely, they're very good watches, especially if you're trying to quit drinking alcohol. That was my biggest thing. And if this is for you and you actually struggling, you have a big problem, and you might not even want to admit it. But if you find yourself just drinking every time you have to do something, like maybe you're just getting off work and be like, oh, maybe I just need to have me a beer and drink me some alcohol and drink that. But that might turn into an everyday thing, and then you might end up wanting something stronger once you start getting acquainted with that. But if you're just a type of just an occasional drinker, I'm not talking about that. You're just an occasional drinker, and you're not really, no. I'm talking about the people that get to the point where you're just drinking so much that you feel like you're just reliant on this. Not saying that you got to be laid out on the floor every time you get drunk, but especially if that's the case. But you feel like you can't picture yourself going weeks without drinking, a couple days without drinking. If you got to actually think about, like, dang, if you stop drinking right now, if you got to think about, oh man, maybe you might be addicted and you not even know it. You know what I mean? If you can't even see yourself doing it, going days without it, or doing regular things without it, then you have an addiction and you don't even know it. And that's something that was happening to me. But it got to the point where it was just so obvious that I had an addiction. I just didn't care. I didn't care because I liked the feeling that I had, and people were trying to tell me. I was like, oh, I don't want to hear that. I didn't care. I just wanted my liquor, and I didn't want nobody to get in the way of me drinking my liquor when I got home from work. Every day, that was me. Every day, drowning it at the bottom of the bottle. I used to drink Skol vodka all the time, and it was extremely hard when I quit. I quit a couple times. It wasn't just a cold turkey quit. I think I quit around about 6 times. Every time was like a little longer than the last. But that last time, and especially when I told you on the story about what happened, that took the cake for me. I was like, I'm done. I'm through. I'm through with this. I'm tired of this control of my life. I'm tired of this substance taking over my life and turning me into a person that I'm not, changing my character. Like, it's so many things that piled up in my mind that I'm just so tired of. And when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's when it's really going to stop. Like, even when the urges come, you just not even going to care about it no more because you're so done with it. And that's what it's going to take for you to quit drinking. That's what it's going to take. That's really what it's going to take for a lot of people, for the overwhelming majority. Now, if you have an extreme mental toughness, you probably wouldn't even be addicted in the first place. But let's just say you do, and you just have it in other areas in life. Then, yeah, maybe you can just drop it down in cold turkey. But okay, this don't have control of me. But if you really got to think about it, and it's like, man, I really don't think I can go a couple days without drinking, then you most likely might have a problem. Or even if you're just a weekend drinker, but you end up, every time you drink on the weekends, you end up having, sorry about this, I have like allergies and sometimes my nose be itching, so please don't let that deter you from this video, because it is like, it's like irritating and it itches from time to time. But anyway, getting back to it, even if you're a weekend drinker, but every time you drink, you end up having this new persona, and you end up having people come to you about what you was doing when you was drinking. And even if you drink nothing throughout the week, but every time you drink on the weekends and you drink heavy, you turn into this person. That's a problem too. That's a big problem. I used to have people telling me like, "Dang, this is what you did. Oh, what you did when you was drinking. Oh, I done lost friends. I didn't cause a lot of trauma and trouble that could have been way avoided if that substance wasn't even there. I had to wait for the book. It's like you waiting for like the principal, waiting to go to the principal's office every morning when you wake up after you drunk. Like you waiting on a report there, what the principal says, or that you got in trouble, or you drunk texting, or what you did, looked at somebody a certain type of way, said something to certain people. Now they don't mess with you no more. I lost friends like that to this day because of stuff like that. And if you're one of those people, you definitely need to like slow down and think, like, sit yourself down and be like, do you really want to keep going through this? Do you really want to keep putting yourself through this? Because one, the drunk you isn't the real you. Now you can say this is a part of me just to try to justify things, but at the end of the day, that's really just not you. You're just saying it just to justify so you can give yourself more of a reason to keep drinking and make it seem like, oh, there's nothing wrong. You're justifying your addiction. But if you get to the point where you really want to quit, but you feel like, oh, I can't, man, it's so hard and all this, just make sure that why is strong enough. And usually that traumatic experience is going to make that why 10 times stronger than it ever would have to be. That why is probably going to have to come in the form of traumatic experience, and it just is what it is. Some people going to have to bump their heads. Some people can't just listen to this video and be like, oh, I'm done now. I don't want to wait till, something happens. But a lot of people, you get to the point where maybe a doctor got to tell you need to stop drinking, or you're going to die. It's stuff like that. Stuff like that. It might take something traumatic like that. Falling out in the club or something, falling out and bumping it. You just never know. I'm not going to try to come up with a bunch of scenarios, but you get the point. But my thing is, it might be the hardest thing you ever do, but it's worth it. It's worth it. All you got to do is just stick it out. The more time you have away from it, the better. The better. And don't even worry about relapses, because when you're trying, that means that you're getting further than you were before. But the fact that you're going to keep quitting, and eventually you just quit. That last quit might be the strongest one. It might be this one that just takes the cake. Like, I can't deal with this no more. I'm tired of this. I'm not this person isn't me. This isn't me. And once you get that in your head and understand that, then you'll be done. Trust and believe me, you'll be done, and you can do this. You might be looking at it right now. You might be thinking like, man, I can't see myself starting. I can't even do this. But trust me, I was that type of person. I was drinking everyday hard liquor. It wasn't just beer, nothing like. I'm not saying that one is greater than the other, but I'm saying I was hard. I'm one of the people that really thought like I never could quit drinking. Never. But once you're done, I was hard-headed. I had to learn the hard way. So I hopefully none of you have to learn so hard to the point where it's extra life-threatening. But I just hope that a lot of you can really just take something from this video and just at least begin on your journey, or at least get back to what you was trying to do before. Maybe you put it down and you just picked it back up and you just feel like, I just can't do this. But you can. You're stronger than you think you are. But anyway, if this video resonates with you in any way, shape, or form, go and click that like button, go and comment, go and subscribe. Click that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop a video. And remember, guys, you can stop drinking and you can be sober. You can be you. All you have to do is just want to do it, and maybe you just got to have that strong why. I'm out.
I'm all out of favors. Don't ask for nothing, had enough. They driving me crazy. And all I did was show them love. They turning to haters. As soon as I would tell them no, don't ask for nothing, had enough. And all I did was show them love. I did so much stuff for some people they came up and now they never will admit it. They took all advantage of me.